Hi, I'm SimmerRue, and welcome to my channel. So, with the latest expansion pack of The Sims 4, the Horse Ranch pack, which came with the world Chestnut Ridge, the Sims team gave us for the first time since Newcrest, but Newcrest is like completely empty, the biggest lot that is completely empty. This is the lot in question. This is Red Rowan Field, and as you can see, she is absolutely beautiful. You also have your own little horse activity area, which is quite nice. You don't necessarily have to incorporate into the build itself, which is what I did. I kind of left it out because we do have this area here. Now, with that being said, let's jump into this video. My initial inspiration for this build came from Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher's home, which is absolutely stunning. There are so many photos of the house on the inside, not really from the outside, which is completely understandable. They are celebrities, and they need to be safe. You can't just have your house spread it all over the internet. But anyways, so the exterior of this home was inspired by a beautiful photo that I found online just by googling modern ranch, and I really fell in love with this elongated home. Now, it is only the outside of the house that is inspired by it, also just the front of the home, and that is where the similarities come to an end. Now, as I said, the inside is very much inspired by their home. It is just so beautiful. It is a very modern ranch. It is just stunning. But this little area here that is kind of detached from the house, that is going to be a library slash office. This is only a 2-story home. The upstairs is completely dedicated to the main bedroom and bathroom, which is a complete open plan, not necessarily something that I would usually do. But it honestly just worked out so beautifully with this build, and I am obsessed. This build is quite expensive. It is a very large home, but she is just so stunning. I play around with a lot of colors, especially blues, yellows, kind of reds, very warm colors, but you will see that once we actually start decorating. Now, I just needed this beautiful detail at the front, kind of to break the monotony. The doorway is on the left side. I use the greenhouse kit a lot, which is just stunning when it comes to doors and windows, especially these big framed ones, and they've got just really amazing swatches. So I use that. The rest of the build's doors is a mixture of I think it's the Desert Lux kit, and the other slide doors are from San Myshuno. Yeah, so the Island Living pack. They blend in absolutely perfectly. I wanted everything to feel open. I wanted it to feel connected, but still kind of its own area. I also wanted to incorporate the garden a lot, which you will see at the end. I have a lot of statues that I will be placing, kind of just to indicate where I want certain garden areas to be, what I want my view to be. I really wanted a statue garden. It was very important to me when I started building this, especially with this massive just open, well, this massive lot that we have to fill. We do have an orchid. Is it an orchard or orchid? Orchid is the flower. An orchard. We do have, we've got trees. We've got some fruit trees, okay? Sorry, I'm not English. And I am honestly just confused as to which one it actually is. Well, we do have fruit trees, which is really cool. We also incorporate, the farm animals. I do have chickens, and we can also have either a cow or a llama. But we will get to all of that later. Now, I am just trying to decide how I want the floor plan to be. I really, really wanted the upstairs to be kind of closed off, but because I wanted the roof to be open, it just made more sense to have it a complete open space. So we do have kind of disconnected rooms that is leading you to the certain spaces, but there are no distinct actual walling. We do later on go in back upstairs, and we do add like wooden planks just to give the roof itself a little bit more detail. Now we are just filling out the rest of our door areas. I have a lot of exits in this place, but I do feel like it makes a lot of sense because the bedrooms are kind of facing towards the entrance. We needed a lot of air and like open doors to bring in everything from the opposite side, like the back. So there's a lot of open doors. We have a big concept going on. Now I start off with carpets. I do change most of the carpets except for the bedroom. We also add that beautiful black detail in front of the doors. I just kind of felt like it matched the house itself. And now we have to get to the barn. This barn is absolutely stunning. I wanted to go for a really modern barn. Something that was particularly built for like the horses or for this ranch itself. Something to blend in with the property that we have. So again, we go with the 2 stories. This second story is mostly just decorative. We do remove the floor, and then I just add this kind of a sunroof on top of it, which will be painted in like the same metal as the main house. It just worked out so well. It brings in so much light that really just helps, and it's just stunning. I love this barn. I had so much fun decorating this barn. In the end, I decided to just go with the wood elements, the same wood as what we have in the house itself, but we do go in with a different roof. On the main house, we have a beautiful black metal roof. Here we go for the more rustic roof that came with the werewolf packs. Now, where the horses are, I didn't want to fully enclose them, so we go with this kind of, it's like metal bars that came with this pack, and then we just section the 4 separate stables off. We go in with some stone flooring mixed with wooden flooring in the main area, and I do add 2 separate bathrooms inside this build as well. I think I am these 2 areas, they are going to be like the bathroom. I do like that it goes all the way up to the roof. We do add some beautiful windows in there as well. And like honestly, once we start decorating this barn, you are going to see it is just so stunning. I am absolutely obsessed. I'm so happy that I decided to build this modern barn, of this modern ranch. This was one of the builds that took me the longest out of all of my builds that I've built with this pack. I really went back and forth, left it for like a couple of days. I would build the shell, I would come back, and I would just decide what else do I want to add, where do I want to add things. I knew what I wanted on the inside, but I am glad that I waited a bit, because initially I wanted to go completely like modern, everything be like woods and whites, which is how the Ashton Kutcher's like inside of their home is. But I am glad that I just grabbed inspiration like from their dining room table. You would see that I grabbed some inspiration when it came to the couch, because they have this beautiful wraparound couch that we mimic that is just absolutely stunning, and I cannot wait for us to get to that point. But yeah, like their dining room table, they've got this massive plant on there that kind of reaches for the stars, and it is just so stunning. It's so beautiful. So that's what I mean with we grab inspiration. But now we are starting with decorating in the kitchen. This little separate area with the staircase, this is going to be our kitchen and dining area. I planned this to be that from the beginning because we have the beautiful open doors. I just thought that a dining room would just look so stunning. I placed the stove kind of in the middle. We move everything up because I wanted the table to be equal with our zinc. I wanted you to directly look into the like our little island area that we have. So here you can see that I just lift up that plant from growing together. It's so beautiful and it is quite the right size of what I wanted to. I just scaled it down a little bit. There is a hair that is tickling my nose and it is the most frustrating thing ever. But anyway, that aside, we then go in and we just clutter up this kitchen. I add this beautiful fern. It is so stunning. And then, of course, I use that dustbin, the most expensive dustbin, kind of as a chopping board. We do add a knife on there. It's so beautiful. It just works perfectly. It's completely functional, and it makes it blend into the house. I do wish they would give us more swatches in that. If there is something that needs swatches, it is that. It's that dustbin. It is necessary. So as you can see, I use this beautiful carpet that has this black and like blues and yellows, and I grab inspiration from that. We fill the entire home then with just those colors, and it is just stunning. I'm so happy that I saw that carpet. That carpet really just built the inspiration and was the building block for the color scheme that we go for. Now, the warmer colors on the inside really complements the warm colors on the outside later on, and it just makes this very large home feel exceptionally cozy. Now, I start off with a yellow background. I do not like it. Of course, we go in with my favorite painting, like wall paintings, which is from the Eco Lifestyle. It's this beautiful mustard color and then all of its variations. It is just the most stunning wall paint ever. So here you can see that we do change the tile to more of a blue tile. It's the same tile, but I just felt that the blue worked a little bit better. Now, this is the wraparound couch that I mentioned that I drew inspiration from. On the one side, we're going to have like a TV area. On the opposite side, that'll be more of like a relaxing, just sitting, maybe listening to some music, obviously when someone isn't watching TV, or just like reading. We have a beautiful piano that is also kind of a centerpiece in this room, so you can also just sit there and listen to music. This is the heart of this build. I feel like everything happens mostly here and in the dining area, which is why they are the closest connected. And I just love that. I really just love the idea of the characters that as I started decorating this build, they just started to really come alive. I kind of imagined this to be a really creative couple. Especially one of them, maybe musically, especially with the piano. And of course, with someone being creative, we really needed a creative house with them. I go with this beautiful paintings that is, I mean, we need more paintings like this. This came with Get Famous, and it still holds. It is just so stunning. You can use it with basically everything. It has all of the colors that I am currently using in this build as well. And then we go for this room with this beautiful blue color. We add a lot of like plants kind of to balance things out. And then to end it off, we go with this warm curtain just to bring the rest of the colors in. I feel like the warmness of the curtains really makes that the living space feels comfortable. Without it, it could definitely have been really cold. And I wanted to kind of stray away from this home feeling a little bit cold in spaces. Every single area of this home for me feels so comfortable and it just absolutely works. here we're going into the hallway. The hallway connects the bedrooms to the rest of the house. So the hallway being quite big and having a warm color scheme and having those open doors for me as well was really important. I wanted the hallway to kind of also be a point from the outside that you see that's quite prominent. So it was important for the hallway to be beautiful and match the rest of the house as well. Now, this is the office space. I completely cover all the walls with books. Again, this comes in with the comfortability and the coziness that I wanted. I was kind of sad that I did not incorporate a fireplace, but I do feel like it works without it. Why I am fine with no fireplace is because I kind of imagine them having underfloor heating. This just looks like a family that can afford underfloor heating. So they are definitely going to have it. They are not going to not warm their feet. It's just a given. And I'm happy for them for that. Now we go with the yellow. The yellow just worked a lot better. And then, of course, we just bring that green painting in just to bring some more colors and bring out the greens in the book so that the books itself doesn't really feel that monotonous and bland. Because looking at all the books like this, your eyes kind of start blending all the colors together and you start only seeing the blues and some of the reds, which could be, it doesn't really necessarily make the type of feeling that I wanted. So by adding that painting, it really works. And then, of course, with the type of decorations that we go with, like this beautiful floral seat that came with the high school years, we also have that beautiful red PC paired with the red lamp, just to bring all of the red in the books in as well. And then we go with the salmon-colored couch wrapped in this with this beautiful like mustard blanket kind of thrown over it, and that brings in the mustard color from the walls on the opposite end that you can't really see, but it is there, and it does just make everything kind of work. Now this space here, I was kind of confused as to what I'm going to put there. It was a weird shape. In the end, I decided to go with this peacock. This peacock is kind of like a centerpiece to this area, and then we just ended off with like a red stone underneath to, again, just bring in some of that salmon color. Now, the main bedroom, I decorate this, but the color scheme that we are going for now, this is not the color scheme that the bedroom is at the end of the build. I will show you how I changed it. I just went for warmer tones. I actually didn't change anything else. I didn't change any furniture or anything like that. I just felt like the color tones that I used didn't complement the downstairs, and because I wanted this entire house to complement each other and the garden and everything to feel cohesive, I needed to go back and just change how I approach the color schemes from the upstairs. Now I start off with this beautiful like marble that is scaled up, so I had to outplace all of the decorations on top of it because the game doesn't recognize scaled up surfaces. It still would place it at the certain spots where they were supposed to be, which is kind of frustrating, but I really, really, really wanted to go with a marble back. I didn't want to go with just our normal bedding that we usually do because this isn't a normal house. I really, really, really love this home. Also, that little stool that's in front of this bed, how cute is that with that pattern? Just blends in perfectly with this home. And then, of course, we needed a beautiful carpet. We also needed the basket so that we can have that warmth, the blankets and things in it. And then, of course, just this fireplace and then a bookcase. Now, this bookcase comes in this green color that matches the bed. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think it comes in a maroon as well. And I think that is actually the color that we do change it to. But I honestly cannot remember. But we will get to that at the end of the build. Now, there we already bring it. Yes, I think because of this maroon table, I do turn that cabinet maroon. I think I am remembering correctly. But we do have that table. It works beautifully. We come in with the salmon color wallpaper and then of course just some wood in the back. We kind of completed off with like the greens and then the yellows, but I do change that. I think I change most of that to the salmon color. But again, we will get to that at the end. I'm not going to try and guess what I actually turned it into. This is going to be the shower. I go with the same windows as what we have on the outside, but I decided to go with the swatch that has the more checkered blocks, just to kind of break it from the outside windows to make everything not look so samesies. And I'm glad that I did that. It really, really, really worked. But the glass just brought everything together. Now, I don't think I've ever used this bathtub. It's a lot, and it has to go in like a certain house or build, and I do feel like it worked perfectly in this. I did not use the toilet because the toilet is just disgusting. It's like this round toilet. It just looks uncomfortable. So we just go with a plain black toilet. The bathroom toilet is the only one that's kind of put into a bedroom, kind of closed off with a door. I just felt like you would want that kind of privacy when you do that. I don't think an open concept with a toilet really works. It's kind of gross. And then I used the matching zincs, which is also not my favorite, but I do feel like it matches this build perfectly. Now, the bathroom is kind of the room that I do keep the same. I don't really go and change the bathroom colors. I really like the color scheme that I had there, but I just had to bring that color scheme into the bedroom as well, and you will see that it does look a lot better. Now, this is like the walk-in closet area. I didn't just want to place a wardrobe because it is completely open plan. I needed to go in with a physical built-in wardrobe. We use the clothes that came with the horse ranch pack. The colors just worked a lot better than the actual wardrobe that came with this, and then we just add a bunch of shoes. Now, the game does tend to delete them, the shoes that you place on the right inside, which is just irritating. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully they've removed that glitch, but I do remember that it has done that to me before, and it's really frustrating. I absolutely hate it when it does that. Now, at first I go in with the subway kind of like a brick, but we do change that. I make it the same color as the brick that we have downstairs. I think I am going to do it still here. I don't think that happens. Oh, that does happen off camera as well. So we do change something in the bathroom. It's the wallpaper. I know for a fact that I changed it to the wallpaper that we use downstairs in the kitchen because it just worked a lot better. And also the cohesivity, which is what I wanted. Now, this is my teenager's room. I really like the concept of this built-in closet. I like that it is different heights. I really like the circular movements of it. I've always wanted to use the circular like cabinets and storage spaces that came with Dream Home Decorator, but I never actually got around to use it. So that was quite nice. As I was decorating this teen's room, the teenagers started to kind of come along as well. They are very sporty, but they also like video games, and yeah, they kind of like versatile in that way. We do have like some insects. We've got some previous toys that they've had, like some stuffed animals. Maybe the stuffed animals have like just some sentimental value to them. I like adding stuffed animals to my teens' rooms. I don't know, I just feel like stuffed animals are still such a teenager thing, especially when I think of myself. I mean, I am an adult and I have stuffed animals. Like, my teddy bear is literally part of my bed aesthetic. Like, I've had my bears since birth and I cannot think of separating. I've got separation anxiety when it comes to that. So yeah, I just think it's not that weird, okay? That's my point that I'm getting at. Now, we do go with this really puffy bedding. I don't necessarily like this bed. I tend to not use it, but it worked so well in this room. And it surprisingly doesn't look cheap, which it usually does, in my opinion. But paired with the wooden planks that we have in the back, with the beautiful painting, and then of course all of the color schemes that we go in, like this dark navy blue, paired with the warm mustard color, and then of course just these extra wall details really just brought that bed and everything together. This entire room feels so cohesive. I use that little ottoman in front of the bed that came with the Horse Ranch pack, and again, it's just stunning. The colors matched perfectly with this room. It was just a given. And then we give them like a TV, we add an Xbox, and then I just wanted some little clutter. We don't go overboard with the clutter, but we just needed something. And because this is a jock, I gave them one of those blowing things that you use at like events, like that microphone. I don't know what you call it, but I just added that. Now this is the child's room. This bed came with Growing Together, if I'm not mistaken, but the desk came from Island Living. The swatches are perfect. It is literally the exact same swatch, and I just had to use it. The patterns on it is just amazing. We go with this drawing table. I add like the just some extracurricular activities, like the scouting. We have this bookshelf that I am going to add a TV in as well. I mean, these children are like rich. So there's like no way they are not going to have a TV. And we just go in and we just add some toys, some extra details. It's looking quite cute. I decided to go with this wall-mounted TV. It just worked better with the space. And then we had to go in and we needed to add some wall details. After I go in with this closet, which also worked perfectly. It has all of these little stickers on it. And then this carpet as well. Now, with the wallpaper, of the wall paint. So I go in with like the blue, but I do go back later on off camera, and I also just change some of the walls to like this beautiful mustard color. I don't know why I didn't do it originally. I mean, it isn't the carpet, and as I said, I wanted the entire house to feel cohesive, but I still wanted each room to feel like its own individual space, and all of the children to kind of feel like everything is made for them and situated there for them, and it is still in their particular style. Now, I just add some extra shelving. We go in with some more toys just to make this room kind of feel better, kind of feel like there is actually a child living here, and this isn't just a plain old generic bedroom, which it basically is. I mean, most of my bedrooms look like this. I just try to use different swatches or try to add extra things just kind of to make them not feel the same. If you build a lot, you will, I don't know, sometimes it honestly just feels like a lot of my things feel very samesies. And then I look back at it and then I'm like, actually, they really aren't. But I'm sure you other builders can probably like relate when it comes to this. So yeah, so we go in, we do these toys. Once I'm done with that, we need to come in and do the rest of the bathrooms. Now, I keep the bathrooms the same as the upstairs. Here you will see that we go in with this tile, because at this point I've already changed the tile on the upstairs. It really just works so beautifully with that maroon detail in the bath and just this blue details on the wall. It is just so stunning. I add that painting also just to bring in all of the colors, and then of course we keep the same shower type of vibe as well. I do remove one of the panels because it just felt too smushed in and a little bit cluttered. Because this bathroom is smaller than the upstairs one, we had to kind of accommodate for that as well. Now I add these koi fish, absolutely beautiful as well. Those warm colors just work stunningly. And this is where I decide to add like a kind of like a jukebox in the main living area. When I first decorated the spot, I wasn't too sure what I wanted to do there, so I just left it open. I do that a lot in my builds. When you don't know what to do, just leave it. Leave it and come back later. Believe me, the inspiration will come back. And sometimes if you just look at a place for too long, it kind of becomes jaded. So you need to take a break. You need to just sometimes step away and then come back with a fresh point of view, and new ideas will just start flowing. So that's basically what happened there. Now we are going to the barn. First, I needed to add extra details because it just felt a little bit bland. So we go in with some pillars, we add some spandrels, and then I go into the main area and we paint those extra bathroom walls this beautiful mustard color, and then I come in with this green marble that we used on the inside as well, kind of as a beautiful detail that just leads towards it. We add these couches with one point kind of over that marble. That was intentional. It just looks stunning. I'm obsessed with it. I don't know, I might be alone, but I honestly think it looks so good. It just looks so stunning. I think these couches came with the Desert Luxe as well. It's either those ones or it is the ones from Eco Lifestyle. They do look quite similar. I still have that hair. It's still irritating. And then we just scale up this tiny horse that we used there, scaled it up, put it there, changed the color, and it looks completely different. And I love that it is such a big detail in the stable that we have. We also add some boots. We have a cabinet, we add the mirror, and that is the entrance hall to this barn, which is just so beautiful. I think it's so relaxing, and it kind of makes sense. A lot of stables are businesses in sorts. I know not really in The Sims, but a lot of people rent out their stables so that people can have their horses there. And that was kind of the idea that I was going for here. She looks absolutely stunning. We just add some lights. I had to kind of see how bright this place is going to be, so we do go turn into like the nighttime to set the lights, because some of the places are quite big. There aren't really ceilings at certain areas, so it was kind of important to do that. Now we do start with some details in the barn areas itself. We add some hay, it looks so cute. We add these saddle pieces next to each barn. I just needed something to fill it out, and then we come in with some shelves. We have zincs on each end. It's just such a cool, cute little spot. Now I go in with a lot of paintings. The side's paintings are from Strangerville, because they do have like a lot of horses and paintings that kind of match this vibe as well. And then on the opposite side, we go in with paintings that actually came with the horse ranch kit. Now inside of the stables, there's like this blank wall. We just add this cow plant skull. It's so cute. And then we finished with the barn. We do go back later on and just add some things on the outside, but we are finally starting with the landscaping. Now, I needed this gate to be in the center. I know the gate itself is kind of a little bit higher than what the fence is. I'm completely fine with it. I think it looks kind of intentional, especially with everything else that we are doing. So I was happy with that. Now we do go in and we kind of lay out where we want our terrain to be. I kind of try to plan out where I want all of my plants, where I want flowers, where I want my statues. And I went for this wonky road kind of vibe, because the home itself is very square. It's very rectangular. There are a lot of square shapes everywhere. We needed to break that monotony. We needed to get rid of all of the squares. Just kind of round things off, make things look smooth, make things look cozy, make it look comfortable. So I decided to go with that route when it came to the plants that we use and the landscaping itself, and yeah, just the pathway. Everything else, the physical structures, I did like that it was like exceptionally square. Now we just add this beautiful fence on the outside of the ranch, and then I go in with those horse topiaries, I kind of just scale them up. They are like chess pieces, and they are so cool. I think they come with Get Together. If I'm not, yeah, it is Get Together. I'm actually like kind of 100% sure. They have like these chess piece topiaries, and that's one of them, and it's just so cute, and it worked perfectly. This is where we have our cow. I put the cow and the chickens together because I thought it was funny, because I really love cow and chicken. So for me, it was just funny. I built like an inspired house done by Courage the Cowardly Dog. So I've been watching a lot of Cartoon Network, like old Cartoon Network cartoons, and it's so funny. It's like they went there. Like I'm like, how did my parents let me watch this? Some of these things that they do, it's just so scandalous. I cannot even like. They had zero chill. But that away, so yeah, so I put the cow and the chicken together. Said for me, it's kind of funny. Sorry. And then this area here is for the bees. So we have like a bunch of wildflowers. Even though we do have a lot of flowers itself, I did want just this wildflowers section with a beautiful tree. I do change that tree to the one of the trees that came with Tartosa. It's like this old tree with like a beautiful shapes and things in it. It isn't the debug. I just quite liked it a little bit more than that floral tree. That tree also blends in really well with the trees that we have in the area. You will see once we get to that. Now here I'm just planning out like just filling in the dirt areas. I try to use dirt swatches and like the grass swatches that came with the pack itself. I really wanted everything to blend in, to kind of feel like it is intentional and part of this world. And I really feel like I kind of achieved that. Now, once we are done with the layout planning, we go in with flowers. I know that I am kind of jumping ahead of myself, but I do have a lot to say on the flowers that we actually use. Now, initially, when I decided what flowers are we going to go for, I wasn't too sure. So I add that little pond that came with Get Together. And there's something just happened to the filter. Oh, there it's back. I will have to fix that. I'm so sorry. So yeah, so I placed that beautiful pond from Get Together, and I based all of my plants kind of around that. It is so pretty, and it really helped. It made my garden feel very cohesive. It also gave me like the opportunity to use flowers and plants that I usually don't use. Now in this like orchid area, y'all, the fruit tree area, in that play area, I kind of just went in with more of like a warm sand. I needed to just bring some warmth in it, just to make everything blend and feel a little bit better. Now here we are going in with just some extra like sandy details, making sure that our house and everything doesn't feel like it is floating. Here we are finally going in with some bushes. We add these beautiful flower bushes. They are just the basis of my bush that I'm going for. They have these little white flowers on them, so they really fill up the spot beautifully, and they also bring in some color, some contrastic colors. I do the same with the back. Initially, I wanted to do 2 different gardens, but I thought that was just going to be too much, so I do decide to just add the flower bushes everywhere and just make my garden itself feel very cohesive. Now this green fern like plant that I'm using, that is one of the plants that comes with I think it's the Zelda Dorado pack, where I just cannot remember the pack's name at this moment, but it has that beautiful green in it, and then we just add some taller flowers because we really needed some tall flowers. I go in with the yellow to bring in the yellow from all of the other plants that we have, like in the wildflowers, and at this point it was still the tree that we used. And then this is the flower that I mentioned that I hardly use. This is from the Romantic Garden. And especially this purple swatch. I really would not have thought to use this if it wasn't for that fountain. And I do feel like this purple flower is what brings the entire garden together. It is such a beautiful, warm color, and it blends perfectly with the walls itself. I go ahead and I add that in all of the extra spots that is kind of open. It is also tall, so you do see it from every angle, and it's just so beautiful. I mean, just look at how the color itself just pops. It brings everything together. It's just so stunning. I end everything off with like yellow flower. The yellow flowers that we are going to use at the end of this, just to put around the border. It comes from Debug in the Growing Together pack. It's also just so beautiful. It's very low on the floor, so it works really well as like a border plant. It helps fill in all those extra little spots on like round curves or the edges where you just have some terrain paint left and you just want to fill that out. Now, most of the statues comes out of Debug, like those monkeys who are just so cute. They come from the Snowy Escape, and they are just so beautiful. This head is from Tartosa, if I'm not mistaken. And then, of course, all of the horse statues that I use, it's from the Horse Ranch pack. And then we have these hands. They are very small. They're from the Paranormal pack, but I just thought that they worked beautifully. It kept with the aesthetic of like the faces and kind of like the animal vibe that we have. And then we just fill the rest out with like this yellow plant. Make everything just blend in all of our statues. It just worked. I really just like the way that the statues look. Once we go into the game itself, I will show you how beautiful it is from certain areas on the inside of the house, because that is where the statues honestly like pop. Because of all of the big windows, every area in the home where you are, you just have this beautiful view of these statues, and it's stunning. We still have to do the patio area. At this point, when I was done with the garden, I honestly thought I was finished with the build, and then I remembered, oh, I never did like the patio. So we quickly go in, we just add like a barbecue, we add this beautiful round sitting area where you can just sit by the flowers and just have a beautiful like Sunday lunch or late evening dinner. It is just so beautiful. I absolutely love it. We go in with that cow plant again. For details next to the braai, I decided to go with that box. I imagine that you can open that and then all of your like barbecue cutlery and everything like that would be there. And then we needed to just add some lighting on the outside, because what is a build like this if they just don't have any lighting? Now lastly, we finished things off here by the children's patio. Their little courtyard is kind of built off. I feel like it's for safety purposes. I mean, they can literally just leave their room and like go outside to like the main area, so I was fine with this kind of being enclosed off. Here, this side we have like the child itself, so I feel like they moved some of their toys outside. We have this beautiful blanket laid out. They also have that jungle, like that jungle gym thing, the pirate ship, and then I added another TV, because like I mentioned, these people are like rich, so the child can afford to have a TV on the outside as well. And I just kind of like that. And this is the teenagers side. We just add like a stool and some pillars. We are reaching the end of this video, so I am just going to jump into the game and just show you everything and how beautiful it looks. So here we are back in the game. Let me just quickly show you the changes that was made. So firstly, the bedroom, as you can see, we went for like a warmer tone. I changed the back here to like a darker blue, and then we went for a green in this cabinet. I thought it was maroon. We also changed the color swatch of this little chair, and then the wallpaper here. Going downstairs into this kids' room, here you can see where we added just the mustard color. I didn't want it to be like overpowering, but it has made an appearance in this build. Now, lastly, I would just like to show you all the views. I do need to replace the mailbox. I never placed one. I always forget. So, yeah, here, just look at this beautiful garden view. Absolutely stunning just by playing the piano. On this side, we have my favorite, which is the hands. They are just so beautiful. On this side, you have the horse. If you sit here, again, you just have this beautiful view of this looming horse. It is just so stunning. Now, from the dining area side, we have this contemporary piece. Also, just so beautiful, matches the house completely. I love that the garden completely grows around it. And then my favorite is the office, who has the monkeys. I mean, this is just stunning. I love these monkeys. They are so cute. And I think they just work perfectly in my little garden space that I've got going on. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. I know this was quite a long one, but I really hope that you enjoyed it. And I hope to see you all again. Bye-bye.